Jai Ram Ji ki to all. Today I am reading chapter 22 from Tuning with God. The title of the chapter is Saints, Who and How. Bhaisab writes, Saints are an invaluable asset to human society. So the society must know who and how about the saints. Ours is an era of fakes. In politics, business, administration, journalism, social service, everywhere we see more of fakes than the reals. In the same way, fakes are flourishing in the spiritual market. They wear the garbs and marks of saints merely with the purpose of laying their hands upon the honor, esteem, and everything else offered to the saints in good faith by the society. All religions castigate such pseudos in one voice. The New Testament says, Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. Padma Puran in Kali Yuga, those passing for saints and sages are generally out and out hypocrites. So, going after the garbs, we may get befooled at the hands of the fakes. Lacking in insight, we may be depriving ourselves of the reals. Hence, we need to see the signs of saints. To love and live in God is the one unanimously accepted sign of a saint. A saint is one who loves and lives in God, but for this, no one can be a saint. He knows his master to be the utmost reality of the world, so he lives with him mentally almost all the time. A saint is the living image of this teaching. He lives with him only knowing pretty well that the Lord of his life is all-pervading, omnipotent, omnipresent, and immortal. Except this, everything seeming to be the real in the world is mortal and sure to fade. As he knows about the reality of God and universe, so he is never the victim of worldly attachments and is free from all type of diversities: good, bad, pleasure, pain, self-importance, humiliation, success and failure. That is why he enjoys the state of ecstasy almost all the time. His heart is full of Lord's love. Many a time his eyes reflect the nectar of his heart. His intoxicated eyes have deep effect upon the pure hearts. So a saint is free from all type of bondages. As he has realized God and knows that everything in this world is a spark of the self-luminous divine, so he never aspires after the worldly things, which cause bondage. Lost in love, he never expects power or wealth, benefits, comforts, and pleasures thoughtlessly, but never is the slave of them. He leads disciples only towards God realization, towards the lane of God's love. He is very much aware of the fact that in comparison with the bliss of Lord's love and the total combined happiness of the world would not be equal to a drop or water in the ocean. So always diving deep in the nectar of Lord's love, he distributes the same to the persons around him. At the sight of such a saint, one enjoys some sort of heavenly bliss without knowing anything. Loving God results in loving his creation. A saint loves all living beings as they are all his master's creation. So it is only natural that he sees and serves God in one and all. Saint Eknath from 1533 to 1599 and other pilgrims were taking Ganga water to offer to the Lord in a temple. Midway in desert, they saw a donkey dying of thirst. The saint saw the Lord in animal. He poured all the holy water into the mouth. The accompanying dry-hearted ones raised their eyebrows. The saint said, "For what other purpose, if not this, have you read holy books? Don't they all tell you to see God in all beings? Water served to the dumb animal satisfies the Lord no way less than when offered to him in temple." Commentating on this, saint poet Moropant of Maharashtra said, "This was as good as feeding a lakh of Brahmins." There are so many examples of real saints serving the Master in this way. Since saints love God, it is only natural that they feel an affinity with His creation. It leads them to consideration for all the compassion for all those in trouble or in need without having any thine or mine in their minds. Saints look upon this world as a drama directed by their loving Lord. In the world, all play, but their parts as assigned by the dear director. A hero and a villain both play equally important roles in a movie. So saints look upon admirers and adversaries with the same eye, the eye full of love for both. Hazrat Muhammad was the founder of Islam. A Jewish lady lived next to his house. She felt jealous of his rising fame every day. She threw the dust and dirt of her house before him. The saint simply swept it out, saying, "Thank God for allowing us an opportunity to serve the neighbor." Once the opportunity did not oblige, Muhammad felt concerned as to her welfare. On inquiry, he learned that she was ill and bedridden. He managed physicians, medicines, and fruit for her. He washed her clothes and cleaned her house for 3 days until she got well. On this favor, the heart of the lady changed. History is full of examples like this where the natural loving behavior of the saints has changed the minds of wicked. So the saints are like sandalwood and the wicked are like the axe. The axe cuts sandalwood, but the sandalwood fills the axe with its fragrance. Their conduct speaks stronger than words. They are practical lessons in good and godly life. They teach by their own example. They lay down ideals for others as they act upon them already in their daily life or when occasions arrive. "Pray for them that prosecute you," said Christ, and he really prayed for them who prosecuted him. Mahatma Gandhi, before his assassination, has said, "If somebody fired bullets at me and I did not pardon him and remember God, it would mean that I was not a Mahatma. I was a pretender." He came up true to his words. A saint knows that love towards the Lord is the only way to lasting happiness. So he is always concerned and careful about the spiritual elevation of all those who come in contact with him. Marks of saints are vividly enshrined in holy books. The Gita says, "A saint is much the same in honor and insult, in vilification and admiration, has no house of his own, is forgiving, and is content with the present and steady in meditation. He is not afflicted by the world, nor does he afflict the world, is free from fear, joy, anger, and anxiety, but has no expectations from anyone, has no grudges, is skillful and adept in everything, is indifferent and takes no initiative in worldly activities anymore." The Bhagavata says, "A saint is noble natured and soft spoken, does not preserve things for the morrow, does not seek or strive for anything, banks only on God, pays respect to others, and is at best in explaining the mysteries of God to others. He may not have bookish knowledge, but is lost in loveful devotion and meditation. All these virtues are natural result of love for God. So love for Lord is the leading mark of a saint. One must try to imbibe it at any cost." Thank you so much, Bhai Sir. Jai Ram Ji ki to all.